Ah! Tiger shark! Hang on. Stay with me. Don't bite. I know. Come on.
In a recent Burninate video, the creators shared a scary moment they didn't expect. What began as a normal outdoor trip suddenly changed when a gunshot echoed through the trees. Startled, they stopped and looked around, trying to figure out where it came from. Not knowing what had happened, they decided to keep going, hoping it was just a random shot.
Holy! Stop! Hey! You shot my boat! It hit my boat!
Later, a voice claimed the shots were only fired at nearby trees. Even so, whether it was an accident or done on purpose, it was clearly dangerous. Luckily, no one was hurt, but it was easy to see how it could have ended badly. It's still unclear if the shooter really meant to hit trees or was trying to scare the fishermen. Situations like this raise serious concerns about safety in remote areas, where one careless gunshot can put lives at risk. So what do you think? Was it just reckless behavior or a deliberate threat? A brave rescuer saw a large alpha wolf fighting to survive after getting trapped in the icy water of a frozen river.
Easy, big guy. Hold on. Gotcha. Hang on. Stay with me. Don't bite. I know. Come on. Up you go. All right, you're out. Easy now. This way. That's it.
Putting his own safety at risk, he reached into the freezing water and pulled the exhausted wolf onto solid ground, calmly trying to keep it relaxed. This brave and caring act gave the animal another chance to live, showing that compassion can exist even between humans and wild animals. A fisherman was out on his kayak near the coast of Oahu, Hawaii, enjoying a calm morning. He was recording his trip and had no idea he was about to film a scary close call.
Ah! Tiger shark! Tiger shark ran me!
A huge tiger shark suddenly comes up and crashes into the fisherman's kayak, shaking the small boat hard. The footage shows a shocking, real moment of an aggressive encounter with one of the ocean's top predators. The clip is a scary reminder of how powerful sharks are in their own world. Was the shark just checking things out, or was it protecting its space from the kayak? Ocean explorer James Taylor records a calm moment while exploring the blue waters off the coast of South Africa. Suddenly, a baby humpback whale comes up from below and swims straight toward him, getting surprisingly close before slowly swimming away. The moment is intense, but shows how gentle and curious these huge sea animals can be in the wild. While diving near the Sapphire Coast of New South Wales, a diver and his partner were having what felt like a perfect day. They had just caught a reef fish and were heading back up when everything suddenly changed.
CC, what? CC, what?
Suddenly, a huge 4-meter female great white shark showed up and began circling quietly in a scary way. With only a spear gun, the diver faced the shark head-on. He did everything he could to stay calm, with his partner staying close behind him.
White shark. White shark, just over there. Let's get back in the shallows.
Okay.
Let's get to the rocks, alright?
He kept watching where the shark was and told them to move toward the shallow water and nearby rocks. Somehow they stayed calm and made it back safely without panicking. The shark never attacked that day. If it had, they would not have been able to react. The moment was scary, intense, and unforgettable. Later, marine explorer James Taylor headed out onto the open ocean. On Wednesday, November 16th, 2016, two friends went fishing on the Nyara River in southwest Tanzania, expecting a normal day. But the dangers of the wild showed up fast and in a terrifying way. Without warning, something hit their small boat with huge force.
Okay, you made your choice.
A huge hippo crashed into the boat, almost flipping it over and forcing both men to struggle to stay afloat. In panic, one of them pulled out a handgun and fired shots into the water, hoping to scare the animal away.
Okay.
By pure luck, the attack stopped before either man was pulled under. They managed to escape without getting hurt, but it was very close to ending badly. Hippos cause more human deaths in Africa than most other large animals. They are very aggressive, especially in their territory, and can easily flip small boats. In this case, the gunshots may have scared the hippo long enough for them to get away. But if they had fallen into the river, they likely would not have stood a chance. Moments like this show how quickly a normal adventure in the wild can turn into a disaster. A group of people were out on a sailing trip when something truly frightening happened. Two yachts crashed into each other, causing chaos and panic on both boats. The impact was so strong that several people were thrown into the water. We can only hope that no one was badly hurt in the accident. In a remote river area in Brazil, police officers on patrol came across a desperate situation that needed quick action. The video shows a large injured jaguar struggling in the water, barely keeping its head above the surface and close to drowning. Showing real courage and fast thinking, the officers used a makeshift flotation device to stop the powerful jaguar from sinking. The footage shows the rescue team's strong commitment to saving wildlife. But one big question remains. What terrible event left such a strong top predator so weak and helpless in the water? We're out on the open ocean with marine explorer James Taylor as he tries to film something rare. He sets up his camera for a simple selfie, not expecting anything unusual. Then, out of nowhere, a huge, strange creature appears for a split second, turning an ordinary photo into a frightening encounter with an unknown predator.
How cool is that? Look at that!
It's horrible!
Hello!
Hello, sunfish.
I need a sunfish.
It's a humongous one.
It's a ginormous one. I mean, look, it's like about as big as what we are.
Yeah.
That might be the wildest selfie ever taken. Looking at its huge size and strange shape, what do you think this deep-sea creature really was? A family was spending time outdoors when they noticed something strange. Let's see what it was.
What is that?
What could it be? Some people said it looked like a cougar, while others thought it was a bobcat. A few even believed it could be something much more dangerous, maybe even a cryptid. Marine explorer James Taylor and his team were checking the coastline when they came across something shocking, a huge injured creature from the deep ocean.
But that it's definitely something that's been smashing it, eh?
The video shows a very rare moment. A huge injured giant squid washed up on shore. As the team rushes to check its injuries and size, something totally unexpected happens, changing what seems like the squid's final moments. Seeing a giant squid is already rare, but what happens next is hard to believe.
Going into the boat! Because she's going into the boat! Is it heavy? I know, look at the eyes.
Did the surfers manage to save this famous deep-sea creature, or did the ocean have one last surprise waiting for it? Floating miles off the coast of Ecuador, a spear fisherman waits quietly. He has no idea he is about to face a test that will push him to his limits.
¡No! ¡Apúrate, por favor, apúrate! ¡Apúrate! ¡Ven, ven, ven! ¡Ay! ¡Ven, ven, ven! ¡Ay! ¡Pato! ¡Ven acá, ven, ven! ¡Ay! ¡Ven, ven, ven! ¡Bien, Pato, bien! No puedo meter otro polazo, Pato. No, acá, se va a pique hoy, se va a pique. No sé, pues. Se puede romper. A ver, a ver.
From the dark water below, a huge shadow appears, a massive black marlin weighing around 400 pounds, or 181 kilos. The diver takes the shot, and everything turns chaotic right away. The fish's strength pulls him through the water, turning the hunt into a dangerous struggle. The footage shows the intense rush and the tiring fight to control the fish. Catching a black marlin this big while spearfishing is very rare and risky. It is a true giant of the deep that very few divers ever see, let alone catch. This fisherman had spent his life on the waters of the Pacific Northwest. One day, he noticed something that looked like a dead log floating close by. It seemed normal until it suddenly moved. Curious, he picked up his camera. When he zoomed in, he saw something strange. It looked like it had eyes and a mouth, but it did not move like a fish. He had seen many things out on the water, but this was something he could not identify. No one else could either. Filmed on a boat by Guga in mid-2022, the clip shows a swordfish on deck off the coast. Its long, hard bill is right there in view, and the tension is obvious. Even though it's under control, the fish is still dangerous. The footage shows how fast things at sea can turn unpredictable, and why it's important to be careful around powerful ocean animals. On December 18th, 2022, 6 kayakers decided to go down a huge waterfall on the Agua Azul in Mexico. At first, everything looked okay as they went down one at a time, but when it was Curtis's turn, things suddenly went very wrong. He fell behind and got stuck with no clear way out. Luckily, he saw a small cave-like spot where he could take cover. He tried over and over to paddle through the strong water, but the current was too powerful. The situation quickly became tense. Everyone worked together to try to rescue him. One kayaker went around the side and climbed the rocks, calling out for him, but there was still no sign of Curtis. The waves kept crashing hard against the rocks, over and over. Then they finally saw him. Curtis had found a way around the back, and together they made it out to safer, calmer water. It ended safely, but only by a small margin. One mistake and the outcome could have been very different. Moments like this show that fishing is not always calm and danger can appear without warning just below the surface. A fisherman goes out on the open water during peak salmon season, expecting a normal busy day. Suddenly, everything turns chaotic as a huge group of salmon jumps out of the water, with fish flying through the air and landing all around the boat. It feels like fish are raining down. Would you keep fishing in the middle of this, or move away to stay safe? Facing the cold weather of the Pacific Northwest, explorer Jacob Colvin and his cameraman Brad stepped into icy coastal creeks. The water was flowing, but freezing cold as they searched the riverbeds and worn cliff edges for hidden finds that had been buried for millions of years.
Right now we're checking one of the best places to look for fossils. We're looking in the creeks that drain into the ocean.
Ah! I found this. A huge agate.
An agate is a crystallized rock, usually consisting mostly of quartz. They're really cool to find.
Check out what I just found. This is a huge agate. I'm gonna shine a light through it just like I did the first one. You'll see this whole entire thing. I think it's huge.
Here are all the fossils we found today in just the creek. We found several bivalve clam fossils and some really cool agate.
First, the team digs up a large, see-through agate shining in the sunlight. But the real surprise comes when they look closely at the cliff walls.
Walking over to the banks, I found what appeared to be a prehistoric pine cone that was encased in the fossilized mudstone here. This thing has to be around 20 million years old. Take a look at a regular pine cone from this area and compare it to the specimen that we found here. Is it a pine cone or something else? I found this right here. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like it could be a dinosaur bone. Who knows? So these are all clams. 20 million year old clam fossils. That is so crazy. This whole thing is just littered with clam fossils. I bet there's some snail fossils somewhere on here. Yeah, you can even see a lot of imprint fossils here. This is where the animals will burrow. Check out the design in these rocks here. Look at that. Wow. Here's the rock beds I was talking about to find more fossils. These things have so many fossils that you can just grab, look at, keep, or whatever. Like for example, I see this rock here has a little pattern on it. You can see that a clam used to live there. This is an imprint of a clam. Check this out. There it is. This is what we're looking for, guys. Look at that. These are little clams embedded in this rock. These look like little fish ribs or the bottom of an iceberg.
Deep inside a hard block of fossilized mudstone, they find a perfectly preserved prehistoric pine cone. It looks strange and fascinating, like a piece of life frozen in time for more than 20 million years. Nearby are ancient clamshells and unusual rock shapes. This shows they are not just walking on a beach, but standing in what used to be a living ecosystem. Long ago, this place was a muddy shoreline full of plants and animals. A sudden natural event buried everything at once, sealing it in mud and preserving it, letting us see and touch a world that existed long before humans. At what seemed like a calm marine facility, chaos suddenly broke out. A frightened shark, being chased and trapped by aggressive killer whales, makes a desperate leap. It jumps over a high barrier and crashes into what looks like the safety of another pool. This is survival instinct at its most basic. The shark risked serious injury for a small chance to escape. But the big question is, did that jump really save it, or was the barrier not safety at all? During a family camping trip, a father was filming his daughter when something strange showed up in the background. As the camera moved across a field, a figure could be seen walking through it. It looked human, but bent over in a strange way. Even more unsettling, the children kept playing nearby, completely unaware of the figure at all. This is the frightening moment a surfer broke his back in a heavy shore break. James Taylor explains how a last-second choice to bail out of a closing wave led to a serious injury.
My first wave was a nice one, just a bit too fast for me, so I didn't get into the barrel, and the lip landed square in my head. The slow motion clip shows very nicely what happens when it hits. It squashes your face, and then just annihilates the rest of you. It was the second wave that I got that did the damage to my back. It was bigger than the first one and a beautiful A-frame peak, so it looked very makeable on the takeoff. The further I travelled, the further the opening started going away from me, and eventually it closed out, so I jumped off the front of my board. I hit the water and went straight over the falls with the lip and into the sandbank. As I hit the sandbank, I felt my back crunch. I came up, I was winded, I felt nauseous and I had a lot of pain in my back. First thing I remember doing when I got on my board was just rubbing my feet together to make sure I could still use them. When I felt them move and I felt the sensation of them rubbing against each other, I was quite relieved. As I was paddling more in towards the beach, I was kind of hoping that the pain would just go away and that it was just a bad knock to my back. But the closer I got to the beach, the sorer it got, and then I kind of realized that there was something definitely not right.
The wave slammed him straight into the sand, crushing his L1 vertebra. He was stuck on a remote beach and couldn't stand up. Luckily, a friend who was a physiotherapist was there and stepped in to help.
So it didn't take too long for other people standing on the beach and in the lineup to see that something was wrong. So a bunch of people kind of gathered around me and everybody lifted me up and then took me up onto the beach and out of the waves. Everybody was kind of huddled around me to stop the wind and try and keep me warm, talking to me, keeping me positive.
Once they understood how serious it was, the group called for a helicopter and kept him still on a surfboard. Amazingly, the break did not damage his nerves, so he avoided paralysis. After weeks of lying flat and months of rehab, he was able to surf again, showing that even if the ocean breaks your body, it doesn't have to break your will. On the calm beaches of South Devon in the UK, a quiet day suddenly changes. People watching the shallow water don't realize what's about to happen. Then the water bursts into chaos as huge Atlantic bluefin tuna leap out in a fast chase. The huge fish are chasing groups of garfish into shallow water, splashing and thrashing just a few feet from shocked people on the shore. Scenes like this are happening more often as bluefin tuna return to UK waters after being gone for many years. While on vacation, a young man from Japan was filming near a river where he planned to kayak. As he recorded, the camera picked up something unsettling, hands coming out of the water and grabbing the edge of a bridge. The way they appeared didn't look like someone trying to climb out. He didn't notice anything strange at the time and only saw it later when he watched the video again. We head out into the muddy estuaries along the Oregon coast, where the video uncovers a troubling issue.
Finding these shrimp can be pretty difficult. Once you find them, picking them up can also be pretty difficult. Dude, come on, I'm trying to help you. To those unaware that this parasite even exists, it might just look like an ordinary shrimp, but it's under the gill flap of the shrimp that the parasite likes to hide, draining the shrimp of its blood, nutrients, and inhibiting reproduction. Notice the small male attached to the top of the large female. And here's the area of the female parasite that's used to feed off the shrimp. Oh, fantastic. Here's a couple more. Let's examine both of these shrimp to see which one might have a parasite and which one doesn't. Notice how this shrimp has thin sides with no protruding bulge. And take a look at this one. You can easily tell that there's something bulging underneath its gill flap. This is evidence of a parasite. And while shrimp lack the cognitive ability to comprehend pain, it still might feel some discomfort being handled. However, it's way more beneficial for the shrimp to have the parasite removed because it gives the shrimp a second chance at a healthy life.
Many shrimp are infected with a parasite called Orthione griffinus, which feeds on blood and hides under the shrimp's gill flap. The video shows a handler gently holding the shrimp, exposing the swollen parasite and carefully removing it. This gives the shrimp a chance to survive.
Even parasites have an important role in nature, but it's when an organism is brought into an area where it doesn't naturally belong that it begins to have a very negative effect on the ecosystem.
His small rescue won't fix the larger problem, but it helps bring attention to it. Now that we know this invasive parasite exists, what kind of bigger solution do you think is needed to protect coastal wildlife? A calm day of kayak fishing suddenly turned into a tense and aggressive situation on the water.
We can cast anywhere we want to cast. Yes, we can. What? Please do. Please do. Please do. I want you to call the sheriff right now. Where is anything that says that? Just public water. Do not hit his dock. I don't care what you do not touch his dock.
The fisherman was casting his line in water he believed was open to the public. A very angry dock owner confronted him, yelling that he was trespassing on private property. Things escalated when the owner tried to cut the fishing line and then called the sheriff to report the fisherman. The video sparked a big debate about public water access versus private waterfront property, since the rules are often unclear. In the end, who was actually within the law, and what did the police decide when they showed up? A TikToker named Jefferson SNL was fishing when he noticed something disturbing in the water. It looked like a small human hand. He didn't go closer to check, leaving people unsure whether it was really a hand, an animal claw, or just a toy. Filmed at night by a muddy riverbank, the video shows a strange moment in shallow water as the camera zooms in on a fish near the surface. A long, snake-like shape suddenly appears and touches it. Within seconds, the unknown creature thrashes hard and jumps out of the water, vanishing into the dark. When everything goes still, only the fish is left behind, unmoving in the same place.
A cobra vem querer se livrar, ó. Pegar nosso peixe aí, ó. Olha aí, ó. Tá vendo, gente? Na boca do peixe, olha aí, ó. Olha aí. Tu é doido, é, gente? Pesca com o maior trabalho pra cobra vir querer levar o que é da gente.
The video never shows exactly what attacked the fish, leaving people guessing about what was under the water. Was it a snake, an eel, or some other predator built to hunt in muddy water? A serious drought at Dinosaur Valley State Park in Texas caused the Paluxy River to dry up, revealing something incredible: dinosaur footprints. Most of the tracks were left by Acrocanthosaurus, a huge meat-eating dinosaur that lived about 113 million years ago. These prints are usually hidden under water and sediment, but the extreme conditions expose them clearly. They give scientists and visitors a rare look into the distant past, letting people see where dinosaurs once walked millions of years ago. On May 24th, 2023, near Bim in the Bahamas, Captain Lauren Landers set sail once again. She runs a YouTube channel that shows her life living on a sailboat with her cat, Mo, far from land. Her trips often include open ocean sailing, diving, and swimming near sharks, and this journey was no different. What began as a normal charter in calm weather soon led to moments that mixed beauty with danger. The sea was calm, the sky was clear, and the guests relaxed on deck as Lauren sailed toward the dive spot. Under the water was a busy, living world, and there she finally saw something she had always hoped to find: a young tiger shark.
Tripped over with these hammerheads twice, and I tried my best to capture the shark's behavior, both being cautious and checking us out a bit. The nurse sharks are always present and are more so in the way and make it a bit harder to focus on the hammerheads. The hammerheads generally make a few passes by before actually coming to check what we have. Sharks are some of the most intelligent animals I have encountered, and it actually takes a lot of effort to get these sharks to stay at a dive site, contrary to what the media says. I hope that these videos can help change your perception of sharks at least a little bit and see them in a more positive light.
It is our last night of our second trip, and we're gonna go out to eat again. We're just all taking hot showers. We just got to the dock. I'm trying to get this thing out of my hair without having to cut my hair. But it was an amazing time, and today the hammerheads are wanting to play so much this morning.
Tiger sharks had always been her favorite, but she had never been in the water with one before. A young female tiger shark swam around her with curiosity, coming closer than any hammerhead she had seen. Then, just as quickly, it disappeared into the deep blue. The hammerhead sharks stayed behind, large and calm. They moved in wide circles around the divers before slowly coming closer, careful and steady. Nurse sharks drifted slowly over the sandy bottom, sometimes blocking the view, while the hammerheads kept passing again and again, each loop feeling like a quiet test. Later, the wreck of the Sapona came into view in the shallow water. Its concrete body was broken down by time and storms. Once used during war and smuggling, it now rested quietly, taken over by coral and sea life.
The Sapona shipwreck sits in 15 feet of water south of Bimini. It is a concrete ship, formerly a part of a fleet during World War I. It was completed at the end of the war and sold for scrap to a developer in Miami Beach, and then sold to a British war captain and liquor merchant located in Nassau. This captain moved the Sapona to Bimini, and it was used to distribute liquor during the Prohibition era. In 1926, the Sapona ran aground, and it was then used as U.S. fighter planes during World War II. It is now a popular tourist site, and rightfully so, as this wreck truly shows the beneficial impact that artificial reefs can serve. Hundreds of fish and marine life call this wreck home, and it is one of the most beautiful sights to snorkel in the area.
The quiet, empty wreck stood out against the busy life around it, showing how quickly the ocean takes things back. For Lauren, moments like this are just part of living at sea. But for others, the ocean hasn't been so kind. One viewer shared a story about a man who went diving near Cat Cay, south of Bimini, and never came back after being bitten by a shark. Others mentioned deadly incidents in the Bahamas and the Red Sea, where baiting drew sharks too close to swimmers. Even though the dives in the video look calm and controlled, an uneasy question remains. Are these sharks really safe, or are they unpredictable? Lauren's footage shows beauty. Hammerheads swimming past, tiger sharks moving through the blue, and a wreck claimed by the sea. But it also reminds us how thin the line is between curiosity and danger, and how many stories the ocean still keeps hidden. Sean fishes from his kayak often. That day, he was on his way to Pompano Beach for the biggest kayak fishing competition on the East Coast. What began as an exciting trip quickly became frightening. They launched at 6:45 a.m. When the starting horn went off, Sean waited a bit before heading out. At first, things went well, and he kept catching fish. The waves were rough, but still okay. Then the storm rolled in.
I knew fish were going to be scarce to come by today, so I wanted to make sure this one didn't get tangled up in my second line, so I was trying to clear my line while fighting the fish. This usually results in a big cluster. And it was too late. He was already in my other line, so I knew this was going to be a complete mess. I'd been keeping an eye on the radar all day, and there was a storm system that was building to the south that was moving our way earlier. But the futurecast showed that it was going to dissipate long before it got here. Well, it didn't dissipate. It just got bigger and stronger. Looking at the radar now, I decided it's time to pack up and get ready to. So the plan was to troll all the way in to give me a chance to get that third king mackerel and at least maybe a chance to place. But all of that changed when I felt this big swell come up from behind, and I decided no more trolling, let's get in.
All right, guys. Sorry, tournament sucked. The bite was non-existent. We're getting rained out. You can see a big storm about to hit.
So in a span of about 2 minutes, the weather went from this to this. I was a little over 2 miles out when I decided it was time to head in. So by this time, I'd made it maybe a quarter of a mile. This is where everything started to unravel. I hit a wave and my kayak slapped the water, and when it did, the force broke the back right-hand arm of my seat. Right there. Now I'm in big trouble because I cannot sit straight up and balanced in the middle of my kayak.
The forecast said the weather would calm down, but it kept getting worse. Waves crashed into his kayak, and he started to panic. Almost 2 miles from shore, surviving became his only focus. Warnings came through on the radio, and then things took a turn for the worse.
It's never a good thing when you hear this on the radio. And then it happened. Luckily, I was prepared for this. I've practiced many times flipping the kayak and getting it back upright. So I got my kayak flipped back over, climbed back on top, and had to do an assessment. Those cross swells hitting the kayak while I'm trying to get back on top made it very difficult. And still over a mile out, I had a long ways to go. It just felt like every 30 seconds the swells were getting bigger and the wind was getting stronger. You can see that the seas are just getting rougher and rougher, and I'm having a harder time keeping my balance with the broken sea. I'm moving really far to the left on these swells to keep from flipping again. And then before I know it, another side swell gets me.
His kayak flipped 3 times.
After having already been through this once, it didn't take me as long to get the kayak flipped back over because I was getting a lot of practice at it. You can see here I'm using the fins to flip it, and I'm using my knees as leverage to get it back over the top against that strong wind. The swells kept getting bigger and my stamina was waning. I was exhausted from the constant pedaling and having to flip the kayak. The only thought in my head was, please don't let me flip again. But it was inevitable. And you can see here in slow-mo how hard I was leaning to the left to try and stay upright, but it just didn't help. And I even tried to jump off before the kayak flipped to try and keep it from flipping over, but the wind would catch the kayak and flip it over whether I jumped or not. I'd reached the point of pure exhaustion. I was really starting to doubt whether I was going to make it back or not. Now the exhaustion was starting to affect my balance. I was just about to the point that I was going to activate my inflatable life vest.
Tired and alone, he struggled against the waves, not knowing if he would survive. After a long, painful fight, Sean finally reached shore. He later said he had never been that scared before and was lucky to be alive. Out there, with exhaustion setting in, one more flip could have ended very differently. Winter had frozen the river, leaving it cold and still, with fish moving slowly under the ice. An angler was out fishing with a spinning rod and a Rapala lure, expecting a normal winter trip. After moving upstream without any bites, he stopped at a small spot under low branches. As he got ready to cast, he noticed a dark shape moving beneath the water.
What in the heck? I hope that's not what I think it is. Oh my gosh. Are you guys seeing this? You guys see that dark thing right there? I'm not even lying to you guys. I think that is a freaking mountain lion because the tail is super long. I think that is a freaking mountain lion, you guys. Like, what? That is honestly really eerie. Dude, okay. That is honestly freaky. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna grab this big stick and we're gonna try to lift that whatever it is out of the water just so we can get a better look. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh my gosh, that is freaking creepy, dude. What is that? Look at that. Look at that. You guys see that tail? Oh my gosh, man. Like, I don't know why, but I'm like scared touching this thing. Just because, I mean, if it was alive, it could straight up kill me. It's like frozen solid. Literally frozen solid. Let's get him up on shore here so we can get a good look. Whoa, that is... Oh my gosh. Oh wow, that's heavy. It's a heavy cat. What in the world did I just find? I mean, that's kind of a interesting start to our fishing day. I mean, that is sad. Doesn't look like a huge one. I mean, I don't really know anything about mountain lions, but that looks like a pretty young cat. It's kind of sad. I mean, look at that. I feel like I find the weirdest stuff while I'm out fishing. Giant fish, a mountain lion. I mean, I was just about to cast in this little spot right here because it looks really good. You know, I'm sure there's some fish tucked up under this bush. But no, I found a mountain lion. Wonder how it... I mean, it was just sitting right there. Who knows? Either way, really, really sad. Well, that's crazy, folks. That is the first time. I mean, I've seen deer and coyotes while I'm fishing, but never have I seen a mountain lion. I feel like that's the equivalent to finding a grizzly bear. I mean, you just don't see them that often.
Using a branch, he lifted it and saw something disturbing. A young mountain lion frozen solid. He pulled it onto the bank, shocked by how heavy it was, and by the sight of such a rare animal lying dead in shallow water. He had seen dead deer and coyotes before, but this felt different. After filming it, he moved on, but the image stayed with him. Hours passed with no luck fishing. Eventually, the fish started biting, and even with a broken reel, he caught a few trout and kept one to eat. As he packed up, the same question stuck with him. How did a mountain lion end up frozen in a quiet river? In a place where that rarely happens, the mystery made the strange day even more unsettling. Magnet fishing is usually about finding lost items, but sometimes it turns unsettling. In June 2023, a group of magnet fishers went to a river to clean it up and see what they could pull from the water.
Saw something round. Ooh. Ooh, it smells. I know what it is. Okay. You smell it.
There we go, fresh revolver. Actually, it might be an H&R. Yeah, oh, it's Ivor Johnson, U.S. grips. No, Ivor Johnson. It's fresh. Right there, U.S. grips on there. It's an Ivor Johnson, 22.
They pulled up the usual stuff like scrap metal and old shopping carts. Then they found something shocking. A body came up from the water.
Oh my God.
GoPro, start recording.
No, don't.
No.
Cal? Cal, come here.
I don't think it's anything.
Don't record.
No, it's just
It's either a dog or it's a person, dude.
No,
that's a rib cage right there, right?
Rib cage, yep.
All right. I hope it's a deer, but it's wrapped in its chain, Van.
It's wrapped in a chain, Dan.
All right. Get everybody off this side of the bridge.
Get everybody to go on that side of the bridge, please.
Not a person.
Van. I hope it's a dog, dude.
It'd be a really big dog.
Oh, it stinks horribly bad. Oh, goddamn, that stinks. Either way. Yeah, but I'm still calling that in, dude.
That is fur.
That looks like a deer.
What'd you say? It's fur.
What?
Backside's fur.
Oh, yep.
You can see the fur right there. So it's a dog or a deer that someone got rid of.
Well, Grant, it looks like it was in a bag too.
Yep, you're right. That is a collar.
GoPro, stop recording. Oh yeah, that is. Oh,
yep.
it's a dog.
You know what?
I can see it here.
I've seen that dog before.
At first, they couldn't tell what it was, human or animal, and either way, it was disturbing. When they looked closer, they saw a collar and realized it was a dog. They handled it carefully, called the authorities, and moved it to the riverbank for animal services.
Hey Sally, it's Jason. Hey, we moved over to Tireman, and I've got a dog's body stuck to my magnet. I didn't know who we should call. Should we call police? It's got a chain wrapped around its collar. Somebody threw it in and drowned it. Okay, if you could do that, that'd be great. I wouldn't know who to call. We're gonna try to drag it over to the shore. It's mostly bones, but it smells horrible. Yeah.
You want to just
let it kind of float out so you can go right around it.
What, Bill?
You want to see if you can go down there and we'll drift the rope to you?
Our siding's too heavy. Just pull it straight down.
When you fish or magnet fish in rivers and lakes, you never know what you might find under the water. On January 26, 2024, along a cold and quiet river, the Vince Fishing Channel recorded something unexpected. Two young anglers showed up expecting a normal winter day, but something by the water quickly proved them wrong.
It's all private in here.
Oh, we're walking up the river.
Get out of the river and get on the road. Well,
We talked to police officers. You can call the cops if you want.
Go ahead.
We talked to Officer Ships who said you can fish all of this if you walk up the river. The state owns the water. State owns the water. We talked to him right down there at the playground. You can get Officer Ships. He's a police officer. Ships.
High Bridge?
Yeah. We have it on video. What's up?
High Bridge Police?
Yes. Yeah. He said the state owns the water.
They don't. It's all posted. I own the water. I'm the owner of the property.
Okay.
I own both sides of the river, and it's all posted. And I'm going to go call Officer Ships.
Yeah, you can do that.
Right now.
Cool.
But in the interim, if you guys wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate you come out.
Well, we would walk down and go on public because you own this. Can't own the water.
You cannot walk up the middle of the stream.
All right, well, that's what if you get a police officer here, then we can go up.
No fishing.
When the officer gets here, man.
Things changed when a loud voice broke the quiet, sharp and demanding, not fitting the calm scene at all. Before the boys could fully understand what was happening, someone appeared acting like the river belonged to him. From that moment on, the calm atmosphere disappeared and the situation started to feel tense.
It's not trespassing. State owns the water.
Officer, what was his name?
Officer Ships. This is crazy, guys. It is ridiculous.
We're trying to fish. This is state water.
Do you know how many people sit right there and go up this every day? Do you know you can't own the water? It's water. You can't own water. This is the property. We're not on your property. Okay, the police officer that you're calling right now said the state owns the water.
You can't fish in our section of the club. This is a private club.
That doesn't make sense. Dude, right there, and the water flows into your section of the club. So it makes
what about the gorge? Do you own the gorge?
Above our property in the gorge, that's fine.
Sir, it's not our.
We own this property on both sides of the river. You cannot access this property.
Okay, if you just said you own both sides. I'm not trying to be difficult.
What are you standing on?
In the river.
My boots touching it. I'm not touching it. There's so many different ways you can argue this. That's the crazy part. Well, we'll see what the cop says. If he says we gotta go, we're out of here. Don't worry about that.
We're not gonna come up on there though.
But we won't walk up this. It's public. The pull-off we're at up there. It's public there. We walked right down. And we didn't touch this.
Yeah,
we didn't touch this. That's
public land.
I'll give you permission to come out because I'd like to get.
As the argument grew, the man became more upset and called the police. The boys stuck to what they had been told before, but the situation started to feel more uncertain. Each moment made the riverbank feel more tense and uncomfortable. Then footsteps came closer, hinting that something unexpected was about to happen.
What's up? How are you?
I would really appreciate it if you let us walk back. I don't really feel
we don't. We're not gonna walk back up here. We're gonna walk where it's public. If you want us to come up to, or we can just talk right here. It's whatever you want.
Well, it's private property, so whatever you guys do, you gotta come out of the river.
Yeah, well, so basically, to our understanding, I want you to just understand our side of the story. Officer Ships, we have him on video saying that the state owns the water, and if we wanted to fish right here, we could walk up the river. That's what we did. So we didn't go on their property, which is why I'm telling you I don't want to walk here or there, because that's what they own. But we have an officer on video saying, my name's Officer Ships, and we could walk here to there. We've never been kicked out before. If you say we have to leave, we will be out of here.
we were told that we were allowed to walk from public property up the river.
I got what you're saying.
Okay.
Right, and these guys have been here for years.
Yeah.
Right. They're allowed to have a chain across cost is their private property on both sides. You're not getting a citation.
Okay, I just wanted to tell you what we're, like, why.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's private property.
Okay.
So you do have to.
Yeah, I told you we'll go if you need us to go, but we're not.
Can you guys get out here?
I don't. If we have permission to go up this.
My permission to come up on the property.
All right, cool. Because we're on the pull-off up there.
There's no problem for me. Okay, to be honest with you, I don't like dealing with this nonsense either. Okay, but these guys have a fishing club that have been here for years, and they're super particular about guys being in here. I've never issued anybody summonses. I just know that for years, as long as they say they don't want you in here, I honestly, professionally, don't understand the legality of part of the river being private property. Okay, which is why I don't care how much people yell and scream about it.
Lake Solitude.
I'm not issuing summonses. Like, there's literally a cable that they have across the river further upstream. I'm sure you guys have seen it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Okay, one time we had kids come down in a canoe, and these guys were losing their minds. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'm not going to open a can of worms by, like, the only way I would find out is if I gave you guys a summons and then you guys went to court and then fought it and paid a bunch of money for attorneys and took it to, like, the Supreme Court. Like, like, you guys are kids being kids. It's cool. You're not in trouble with me. Got it?
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. You're not getting the ticket. Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys don't get in trouble in the future. I kind of take your side in this. I get it. I understand. The problem is as far as, like I said, the private property rules go, when they say you guys can't be here, then okay.
Yeah.
Like otherwise then it's like, well, they refused to leave after they were told. Well, then it's like, shit, now I got to charge you. And that's different than just trespassing on private property. Like, once you're told it's private property. And like I said, these guys have been doing this for years. They've been like this for years about this. So it's been adjudicated in the courts. They're allowed to do it. I don't personally agree with it, but it doesn't.
Yeah, no, but we're just
fishing.
What are you posting under?
Vince fishing on everything.
Fishing
Yep.
On everything.
YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Oh, I'm gonna look it up as soon as I get back in the truck.
You'll see some interesting encounters with some people.
Awesome, cool. So am I gonna end up on YouTube here?
If I ask your permission and you say yes.
Oh, dude, this is a public service profession. You do whatever you want with my footage. Just don't make me look fat. Sorry, I gotta glue that one. We're good, dude. I'm getting famous here, so don't ruin my shot.
Take it off.
All right. Yes, you guys are good. You got any questions?
No.
You're good. We're cool?
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey,
thank you.
Good luck,
Appreciate
all right?
Best of luck catching some
stay
fish.
safe, all right?
Go further down the river, you'll have better luck.
Sunday in like Nowheresville.
Oh my! And you know what? We talked to another officer the other day who said we could walk from the public property in the water to do it. And these two older guys, they came down. They were so mad. But we're all good. The cops, they said they're on our side.
So are we.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
When the officer arrived, the tension didn't disappear, it just shifted. Questions were asked, answers stayed unclear, and nothing felt fully resolved. Neither side really won. After it ended, the boys left, hoping to put it behind them. But before the day was over, the river had one last surprise that ended their trip in an unexpected way. Viewers later debated whether it was just a misunderstanding or a sign of how unclear ownership can be when law, memory, and belief clash. With no clear answers, the moment felt even more unsettling. If one claim can change the feeling of a place so quickly, what else could change just as easily next time someone walks along that river? Joseph enjoys fishing and being outdoors, but one calm trip took a strange turn. While fishing on the Ohio River and catching fish all day, something unusual suddenly grabbed his line.
Slam. What do we got here? Big old white. Big old white. That's a chunk. What is, wait a minute. No, it's like a stick or something. I thought that was a fish at first. That was weird. Is this a fish? This is feeling weird. What the hell is that? What? What am I looking at right now? Bro. Why does that look like a hand? Did I just snag a hand? Holy. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do right now. They've actually found me over here before.
I just found it.
As he reeled it in, it looked like a hand. At first, he couldn't tell what it was. With Halloween coming up, he wondered if it was just a prop or something more serious. After a tense moment, he pulled it fully out of the water.
This has gotta be fake. Oh my god, it's heavy too. Like, why the hell is it so heavy? I don't know what to do here. I don't know if I should cut my line. I don't know if I should call somebody. Why is there duct tape on it? I'm hoping this is fake. It is about Halloween. It is about Halloween time. I'm hoping this is fake. Why is this so... Oh, it looks like there's a bone in it. Oh my... This might actually be freaking real. Oh my god. I can see fingernails. I can see freaking fingernails. Is this thing real? I don't even know what to do right now. I just caught a hand. I just caught a freaking hand. I think it's fake. I hope it's fake. Why is it doing it? There's like something taped. Oh my god, does that look real? Oh my god. No, that looks fake. Okay, I just pushed it in pretty far. And no blood's coming out. I think it's fake, guys. I think it's rubber. I hope it's rubber. I don't really want to touch it though, in case it's not. I want my lure back. I'm scared to touch it. I'm seriously scared to touch it. That was disgusting. Water came out. This is fake. This is fake. I'm gonna grab it. Oh, that feels weird. That's fake. Oh my, I thought it was real there for a second. Holy crap.
The closer he looked, the more unsure he became, until he realized it was only a prop. Still, for a few minutes, it really shook him, especially since a body had been found in that same lake before. A fisherman heads out expecting a great day. His bait is working, fish keep biting, and he's catching some good ones. Then, just as everything feels perfect, the calm morning suddenly ends.
I made a switch to a candy bug Zimmer swimmer just to see if it made a difference, and it did for that fish. Look how fat this dude is. Look how fat that fish is. Just an absolute football, stuffing his face with white shrimp and crabs. There he is. Speckled trout. All right, switch to candy bug. Apparently it's a good one. He's just barely under keeper sized. I'm gonna let him go. Oh, there's a fish. Red, I think. Red, I think, but not a keeper red.
Another boat pulls up, and the calm mood quickly turns into a tense argument.
What's that?
Can't be back here. Y'all know that.
Why's that?
It's all private property, dude. You passed the signs up coming in.
Yeah, but it's a bayou. It's navigable.
Huh?
It's a navigable bayou.
I don't give a care what it is. It's private property, dude. I mean, you want me to call wildlife right now?
Yeah, you can call him.
Hey, we got one that's fishing in Bumblebee Bayou, all the way in the back, and refuses to leave. A guy fishing in Bumblebee refuses to leave. All right, I'll get him, and he'll get it in the mail, I guess. All right. All right, man. We pay a lot of money for this right here.
This is navigable. This is navigable. This is navigable bayou. It is. No, I'm not going to your pond. I'm just fishing the bayou. It's navigable. It is. It's not. It's not.
I don't know if you're from here or you're from where you're at. It's not.
Yep. It absolutely is. I'm from.
Go do donuts in your yard because I could go there?
It's navigable. Absolutely, it's open to the public. 100%.
I promise.
Okay, well, that's fine. You got my boat number. Send them in. Send them in. Okay, it's not a problem. I'm not messing with you. I see that. I'm not on the land. I'm staying off the land. It does matter. No, the bayou is not. The land is. Nah. Okay, good.
The people in the other boat accused him of trespassing, saying the water was private property. A tense argument followed over whether the bayou was public or off-limits. He tried to explain that it was tidal, navigable water, but they refused to listen. The argument escalated, threats were made, and eventually they left. Later, the fisherman explained the situation from home. For those outside Louisiana, it can be confusing. Access to tidal waters there is complicated, and unlike many states, Louisiana does not guarantee public access to all tidal waterways. This has led to many conflicts like this, where anglers are told to leave places that appear public but are claimed as private. He also said duck season was open, but he had no intention of bothering hunters. The nearest hunting pond was almost a mile away, and he was fishing a deep, natural tidal channel. Situations like this are common, and even state agencies often struggle to decide which waters are public or private. In many cases, only a court can make the final call.
Those of you watching from out of town are probably wondering what in the world this could possibly have been about. Well, it's because Louisiana is the only state in the union that doesn't guarantee unfettered access to all tidal water. Because of this, fishermen are regularly harassed and run out of areas that are claimed to be private. Now, I shot this video the day before Thanksgiving, so duck season was open here in Louisiana, but I'm a big believer in not doing anything to interrupt anyone's duck hunt. My view is that as a fisherman, I'm mobile, I can move, a duck hunter can't. They're pretty well set up in that pond, and that's where they're gonna spend the morning hunting. But the nearest pond to the bayou I was fishing is more than 3/4 of a mile away, so I absolutely was not messing up anybody's hunt. The bayou is 8 feet deep, it's tidal, it's natural, and it's obviously navigable. Confrontations like this, though, are all too common along the Louisiana coast, and I've been covering this topic for my 30 years in outdoor journalism. When I was at Louisiana Sportsman, we would often send the state lands office sections of marsh and say, hey, can you figure out if this is public or private, just to see what the answer was. It would often take them weeks to try and make a determination, and often they come back and say, we can't really figure it out, it would have to go before a judge. Now keep in mind, this is for tidal water, not land, which everybody recognizes as privately owned. Unfortunately, confrontations like the one I had are becoming more common in Louisiana as landowners try to flex their muscle and keep people off of the tidal water that runs adjacent to their land. Now, what I encourage anglers to do in these situations is to, number one, be selective about which parish you fish. It's up to local law enforcement, not the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, to intervene in these cases. And some parishes, to be honest, just absolutely hate fishermen. Lafourche Parish, for instance, aggressively prosecutes anglers who are fishing tidal water, and the judges there notoriously side with landowners. Other parishes know this is a hot button issue, so they basically just stay away from it, and they're certainly not going to load deputies onto a boat to go out into the marsh and try and investigate and see what's going on. Number two, be respectful. You never know if the person approaching you is a hothead, and obviously the last thing you want to do is escalate the situation. However, number three is resist being bullied. If you're confident the tidal water you're fishing is open to public access, ask the landowner or lessee to produce paperwork from the state lands office or an adjudication from a judge saying that that water is in fact private. But again, if the situation escalates and there's a threat of violence, leave immediately and call local law.
The fisherman advises others to be careful, saying conflicts like this are happening more often as landowners restrict access. Choose fishing spots wisely, since enforcement changes by parish and some areas favor property owners. Always stay calm and respectful, and don't let yourself be bullied. If you believe the water is public, ask for proof. But if things feel threatening, leave and call authorities. This situation shows a larger issue in Louisiana, the ongoing clash between private land rights and public access to waterways. Many anglers think tidal waters should be open to everyone, while landowners argue old property lines give them control until the law is clearer. Until that happens, these conflicts will likely continue. So what do you think? Should tidal waters always be public, or do landowners have a fair case? And if you were in this situation, would you stand your ground or walk away? In January 2025, Austin from America's Outdoor Family went fishing at a remote campground pond. With temperatures well below freezing, he first thought he was looking at a spillway. Nearly a quarter of the pond was frozen, but he kept walking the shoreline as it got darker. From across the pond, he noticed something near the edge that looked like a spillway or a large log. As he moved along the dam and kept casting, the shape started to seem off, too still, too fixed.
It's not a freaking log and it's not a spillway. From across the pond, I thought this was a spillway. It's a freaking deer. It's a deer. Can you guys see that? Holy crap. There's a freaking deer. Oh, no way. I can see antlers. I don't know if you guys can see. Right there. There's antlers. Oh, I'm gonna freaking get in and get it. I'm gonna like get in. All right, hold on. I'm gonna set the camera up. All right, that is a deer. I'm gonna get in there. Oh man, I hope I don't have a hole in my boots. Dude, it's a buck. Oh, nice. Dude. Oh, no way. Dude, I wonder what happened. I don't know if it got hit by a car. Oh, it's got algae all over the antlers. Oh, it's stinky. Oh, guys. Oh, I found a body. Oh my gosh. It's a deer, Emery. Oh. Oh, it's a buck. Dude, I wonder what happened to him. That's crazy. Oh, he smells so bad. That was horrible. Oh my gosh. A nice little basket rack 8-point. Oh. Oh. That's crazy. I don't know if like there's giant deer, so I doubt he doesn't look big enough to shoot. He looks like a young deer. Oh. That is crazy. Oh. Oh man, it's so deer. Y'all back in here though? It makes total sense. There's also a road just right over there. Oh man, I keep getting whiffs of him. Oh, it smells horrible. Holy crap. Oh, dude, I'm gonna come back and get his antlers. I'm gonna get a saw and chop his antlers off or something. Oh, he's a young deer. I mean, maybe a 2-year-old, probably a 2-year-old. I've deer hunted enough to be able to tell, you know, kind of the general characteristics of a 2-year-old, but doesn't have very thick mass or anything, but that is crazy. Oh man. All right, Emery, don't rub it. Oh, you know when dogs lay down in it? Oh, Emery just laid on that thing. Emery, get. Oh, the thing smells like butt. Emery, get. Oh, she just freaking, you know when dogs like roll and stuff so they smell like the woods? Oh, that's horrible. Emery, that's horrible. She ain't coming in the camper tonight, can guarantee you that. I'm gonna leave the deer there. I'm gonna finish fishing and then I'm gonna tell Molly. I'm probably gonna call Molly, actually.
When he got closer, he saw what it really was, a young buck frozen in the water and covered in algae. The smell made it even more disturbing. With a road nearby and signs of deer in the area, he wondered if it had been hurt or just slipped into the pond. Things got worse when his dog rolled near the body. Austin left the deer there and called his wife.
Hey. You will never believe what I just found in the pond.
What? A what?
Literally, I just found a.
Like in the pond, like right here at the campground?
Yes, at this sketchy campground, I just found a big buck.
Oh gosh, Austin, you had me over here thinking it was something crazy.
Yeah, you ready to call 911?
I was like, we need to definitely get out of here.
Yeah, the campground is a little bit sketchy, but no, I literally pulled it out. I'm glad I wore my boots, but yeah, it looks like a young, probably 2-year-old. It's an 8-pointer.
An 8-pointer.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me get the kids. We'll come down there and check it out.
Are they awake?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, hurry up. We're running out of light.
Okay.
All right, come on down.
All right, bye.
Bye.
By the time his family arrived, it was almost dark and even colder. He mentioned possibly coming back later for the antlers, though it's unclear if he ever did. He remembered finding another dead buck in a similar situation years before, which made the place feel even more unsettling. Situations like this often have normal explanations: ice, injury, or a bad step near the bank, but they still raise questions. How does a healthy deer end up frozen in shallow water at such a remote pond? And what else might be hidden beneath places that seem quiet and still? The unsettling footage comes from Rob Outdoor, a Yucca-based solo camping and van life channel focused on realistic overnight stays in remote and unconventional spots. The content highlights unscripted moments, showing how quickly tension or risk can surface during stealth camping. Recorded on July 13th, 2024 at a rural woodland car park in the UK, the video begins as Rob drives down a rough, uneven road into a small forest parking area. As evening settles in, something immediately feels wrong. Several vehicles are already parked there, many occupied by lone men sitting quietly inside.
Oh, single male occupants. At least 2 vehicles with single male occupants. I'll show you at some point later on how bad the road is on the way in here. And you can't tell me people want to drive down this car park just to walk their dogs into stealth mode. So that car there, single male occupant, car next to it, guy just walking his dog, and the car next to that, single male occupant. What are people doing here? What do people, if they're not, I mean, what am I doing here, to be honest? What am I doing here? Oh god.
After parking, Rob shifts into stealth mode and notes how unusual it feels that so many people would be there just to walk dogs or take a casual evening walk. Even with the tension building, he chooses to remain and starts preparing dinner inside the van, hoping the atmosphere will settle once night fully sets in.
A little treat for pudding, some ice cream, chicken tikka masala, pakoras, naan bread. Yes, I spilt some. Bit more naan bread cooking in there. And a beer. This place is weird. Bloke in the van's just pulled up. He was parked there. He was parked there. He walked down there. See him? So that bloke walked down there and then walked behind my van where I was cleaning my stuff. Look at that bloke there, look. Don't look in the back of my van.
While sorting equipment at the back of the van, Rob spots a man moving uncomfortably close behind him. The stranger tries to look inside through the rear doors, hovering just long enough to raise concern. Moments later, he steps forward and starts an uneasy, awkward exchange.
Yeah, just well, yeah, just doing a bit of dinner, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. How about yourself? You alright?
Yeah.
Yeah. What you about?
Not so bad, actually.
No.
Sort of couple, but always say something down to us brothers.
Yeah. No, it's nice to do, isn't it? It's nice to get away, isn't it? Yeah. I've just had a curry and it seemed like a good idea at the time, but not so much anymore.
Yeah. It's clearing up.
It is. It's a bloody. Yeah. Wasn't not ideal, to be honest. All right, mate. No worries.
Well, have my dinner.
Have a nice evening.
And you.
Cheers. Ciao. You can't tell me that's not weird. Just hovering down here. He was hovering down here. This is where the other guy come. Now, when I was trying to show you, I was in the back of the van. He was hovering here, trying to look inside my van. But he said he'd just been deer hunting. Alright, mate, that's what you call it.
The explanation he gives for being there seems vague and unpersuasive. Even though the conversation remains civil, the odd timing and the absence of a clear reason deepen the unease. After he walks away, the sense of surveillance does not fade.
The situation is, that thing there is just pulled in. That Golf has been there since we turned up, and there's that camper van just turned up as well. That Golf, a man still sat in the driver's seat, got his lights on, and he's been here for ages, just sat there. So this is the situation earlier on. Back door open. So you can't exactly go through there. two blokes come through, walking through here. They were hovering here, stood in this little area, trying to peer into the van. He was down here earlier on. Look what's back, people! Look what's back.
More vehicles keep pulling in and shifting around. One van seems to drive off and return several times, while others stay parked with engines idling and lights still on. The same individuals linger in nearby spots, making it impossible to relax or feel unnoticed inside the van. Just as Rob gets ready to sleep, the tension suddenly intensifies.
So got two cars have been round, popping their horns. The motorhome that was here, he's bottled it and he's gone. It's now 11:30, and I'm not in the same car park. I've moved on. Just getting into bed, just like as I said, a couple of cars turned up. One held its horn on in the main car park for ages, and then he pulled next to the other camper van that was there, held its horn on for ages, and then pulled up next to me, held its horn on for ages. And then as it went to move out the car park, another car pulled in. So at that point I thought, I'm getting out of here.
Several vehicles start blasting their horns nearby, holding the sound for long stretches. One pulls up right beside the van and keeps honking, with laughter clearly coming from inside. The pattern no longer seems accidental. It feels targeted. Later that night, Rob chooses to leave the car park altogether and head somewhere else to sleep. By morning, he reflects that although no direct harm occurred, the constant attention, repeated vehicle movements, and deliberate noise created an atmosphere that felt steadily more threatening. Bear runs the YouTube channel Exploring with Bear, where he dives into places connected to the unexplained, mixing historical research with real-time exploration of abandoned sites and areas rumored to have lingering activity. In a video uploaded on December 5th, 2025, what starts as another investigation turns into something far more unsettling than a typical ghost story. On a freezing, snow-covered night, Bear and his friend B head to a remote spot locals call the Haunted Forest. From the moment they arrive, the air feels tight and uneasy. Not just because of its reputation, but because of a strange, persistent feeling that something unseen is watching from the darkness.
You're currently in the Haunted Forest. We just got here, just started snowing. But right when we started walking up the trail, this car was going super slow. And it pulled in and turned the lights off, and it's been sitting there for a minute. It's a little suspicious. Anyway, this place has crazy activity in it, from voices to shadow figures to little kids' voices. So there is a cemetery tucked away back in here, where I've also found some crazy things, and like some kind of hooded figure one night. It was crazy, man. I injured myself running that night. So I will be running the K2 once we get in the cemetery. Not only that, B's got the thermal camera hooked up to his phone.
We got two little pocket knives.
Two little pocket knives.
And our muscles.
So that didn't make B feel any better.
The tension tightened every muscle, doing nothing to calm B. As they started up the trail, a car rolled in behind them at a slow, deliberate pace, then stopped and switched off its lights. The quiet that followed, broken only by snow hitting the ground, shifted the mood instantly. The forest already carried a reputation for strange voices, shadowy shapes, and unexplained noises. B remembered a past visit to a nearby hidden cemetery where a hooded figure had appeared, sending him running and leaving him injured. With only basic gear, a K2 meter, a thermal camera, and small knives, they pressed further into the woods, even as the unease kept building.
Man, we'll be able to see.
Okay, I got the camera right there.
Oh yeah.
And see, that's the trail we're walking on.
Yeah, it's still a little warm. Okay, it's refreshing. Getting a read. Ooh, is that little spots? Look, there's a little spot right down there. Right back there. Eyeballs? Okay.
Dude, look how the path lights up. Isn't that crazy?
That is cool.
Why does the path light up?
What?
There's something.
Put it in front of the camera. What'd you see?
I went too fast. Something.
Ooh.
There's something up there. Something's moving up there.
Do you hear that sound?
Yeah, something's moving.
I keep hearing crap. Man, this place is so spooky at night. What is that noise, man? That is really close. And where they came from, the direction is a dead end. You know what I mean? Yeah, that means they were sitting way down there for a while and then seen us turn their lights off and pulled in across behind us.
As they moved along the trail, the thermal camera picked up unusual heat signatures on the ground, along with brief distortions that suggested unseen movement. The earlier vehicle encounter remained in their thoughts, making the situation feel intentional rather than coincidental. They continued toward the old cemetery, a location previously linked to a disturbing discovery resembling human remains near a weathered grave.
So, there was like some organs back here one night, man.
What?
Organs? There was organs back in the back of the cemetery. It looked like organs. It was a pile of organs or something. Same place where the hooded figure was. That's where we're about to go. Right up here, man. Right up here.
Where's it at?
Right in there behind those bushes, man. They were standing right in the middle back there. Oh. Whew. Thermal.
Yeah, dude, some of these are really hot. Some are showing hot, some are not. But then look at out there. You know what I mean? You see a whole bunch.
Yeah, check out how old some of these stones are. Some of them you can't even read no more. 1899. The organs were right back here. Shh. Did you hear something moving? That path, if those people are coming, comes right down back through there.
Too cool.
Well, hold on, dude. I thought I'd just seen a light down on the path. I'm telling you, I feel like
I'm being watched.
Yeah, I feel like there's somebody right down here, man.
Encircled by gravestones from the late 1800s, the sense of being observed grew stronger. A distant light flickered through the trees, and unfamiliar sounds from the forest heightened the strain, making the place feel threatening rather than empty. Eventually, they chose to head back to the truck. On the return walk, the same vehicle appeared again, slowly trailing behind them.
There's a light back in the forest. Car.
Creepy slow.
Super duper creepy slow. What are they doing? That's that same people creeping on. I told you, man. Something ain't right about these people.
I think we can go back to the truck.
Yeah. My camera's not focusing. What is that? You
What?
see that? Is that something on my... Is that the ball cap on my... No, there's something on my truck, man. Hold on. Let me get these doors unlocked. Man, that is freaking creepy. Hey, hurry up, B. Look, hurry up. Just grab that. Get in. So, it had this belt. Look at this freaking baby, though. Look at that.
Nearby, they found a small baby doll strapped with a belt, its eyes oddly colored and its hands bound with tape. The placement did not feel random. It seemed deliberate, almost like a signal meant to unsettle. They left the forest right away, physically unharmed but deeply shaken, convinced they had been followed and purposely intimidated. In the end, the behavior of real people proved far more disturbing than any paranormal tale, and the decision was made never to return. Jeremy is an experienced explorer who regularly visits isolated cliff tops, often by himself. Through repeated trips to these unsettling locations, he contributes first-hand accounts to the Truth Proof channel, documenting strange lights and intense feelings of unease. On one particular night, equipped with a thermal camera, he recorded something far more unsettling than usual, footage that appeared to show undeniable evidence of something bizarre, forcing him to question what he thought was possible.
Thermal. It's one of the ones that attached to your phone.
Yeah.
So I could hold it out of what was going on. As I was holding it up, you could see a figure just to the right of the path. You've got the fixed camera on the left-hand side. You can see it on the video, the fence post. As I scan across, you've got the path. And then this figure's a powerful torch.
You pointed out it's a torch that's more than capable of going. Shall we just go up here a little bit further? Are you all right for time?
Yeah, it's fine.
So torch is more than capable of going past the distance of this figure.
Yeah. So I got my phone held out with the thermal on it.
I'm not sure what that is.
I've got my torch in the other hand, lighting up the field, which I thought was a little bit odd.
I'd probably thought it were a lot odd, to be honest with you. You know.
And I thought, well, I'll walk towards it. Because,
yeah, well, you actually comment on footage. I'm going to have to...
About a month ago, on a night, Jeremy stood alone on the cliff tops, climbing a hill toward a stationary camera. With a thermal device connected to his phone, he slowly scanned the area. As the lens moved across the landscape, a clear figure suddenly showed up on the thermal screen.
Walk towards it. Because,
yeah, well, you actually comment on footage. I'm going to have to walk towards it.
If we don't go towards it, we're never going to know, are we?
Well, I've said to you many occasions, if I ever see anything, you've got to go towards
investigate it rather than come away. Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're just thinking about it.
So how big would you have estimated it to be?
It was difficult to say.
Yeah.
To be fair, the size of your phone screen.
But if anybody said, "Oh, that's just a rabbit stood on its back feet," or all that.
No, maybe a bit smaller person, depending on the distance that it is away from it.
I'm sorry that light's dazzling you, Jeremy.
So I decided to walk towards it. As I was walking towards it, I'd scanned the camera about to the left, came back, and it had gone past where the figure would have been. And I scanned around the entire field with the thermal, and you can pick out a fox.
You've looked with your torch, and you can see this thing on thermal, so it's clearly there, but you're looking with your torch where it is and it's not there, and then you take your thermal camera away, when you look again it's gone.
Yeah.
It's not possible, is it?
No. There's been a couple of occasions over the last couple of weeks that I've come up, so I normally come up before you guys, and I've not wanted to walk any further.
Well, it's unusual for you, that, isn't it?
It is, yeah, because it's, I don't know, I wasn't, I just thought it wasn't a good idea. I can't really put it into words.
And then you said you saw a white light just appear.
Yes, that would have been probably a month or two.
So that's a month before you've seen this.
A still figure appeared on the thermal display just off the path to the right, around 150 yards away. It looked roughly human-sized, possibly smaller, and seemed to have a backpack. Jeremy directed a powerful torch toward the exact spot, but nothing was visible to the naked eye. On the thermal screen, the heat signature remained. He walked toward the location while scanning again. When he arrived, the figure had disappeared, leaving an open field with no visible cover. The thermal camera later detected foxes and rabbits, but no trace of the earlier figure.
It's a bright light, like a very bright torch light.
Just a single circular light, not a beam or a
not
spread.
a beam. It wasn't lighting anything up. It was just a bright light, which sort of like a pinprick, and it disappears. This was on and then off. Well, it was, stayed on for a second or so. If we just carry on up here, I stopped at you can see the bench.
All right. Yeah.
Which, strangely enough, was around the same sort of spot, that white disc in the field.
Yeah.
Which would have been about that sort of area. So I'd stop there, because so I stopped for about a minute looking out. Just parked up in that top car park and just turned the lights off. So I was sat in there talking probably for 5 minutes. The back door of the car, tried something. Somebody tried to get in the back door.
A shape visible only through thermal, unseen by the naked eye, and then gone from an open field, offered no clear explanation. It was not his only unusual moment there. On other visits, he described an intense unease that stopped him from going farther along the paths. Something out of character. He also reported earlier sightings in the same area, including a white light that appeared and vanished, and a white disc seen in the mist years before. More recently, he observed a bright circular light in the field, followed by a wide shadow moving horizontally across the horizon.
No, so I flicked my light beam, had a look round, there was nobody there.
You didn't feel like getting out?
No way I was getting out.
And were your doors locked?
They were locked, yeah.
That's frightening, that, isn't it? When you think about it, if your doors had to be locked,
so,
right?
It is a good job.
Parking about where there's no cars, there's no people, we're in complete darkness.
Yeah.
So if we went to be parked in car park, which is the lower car park. So basically, this is a lesson to be learned for everybody. We talk about UFOs, strange lights, strange people maybe. So don't come up here on your own. I think if we've levelled it out, we've got to say potentially it's a person. It just shows potentially it's not just about unexplained phenomena. There might be somebody unsavoury up here.
Well, it seems to be the thermal cameras are picking things up. Ian filmed the orb,
that
or whatever.
Sphere, yeah, that were revolving.
And we wouldn't have known that was there without the thermal.
No, that's true.
So the thermals do pick.
The host of Truth Proof later described another disturbing incident at a nearby car park close to the cliff tops. While sitting in total darkness during a phone call, the handle of the car's back door was suddenly pulled. When the lights were switched on and the area checked, no one was there. The doors had locked automatically, preventing possible access. What lingers most is not only what was recorded, but the isolated setting itself, where even ordinary explanations feel uneasy. Scott, a fishing content creator, was recording at a local pier when an exciting moment suddenly shifted into something risky. He and his crew had just helped nearby anglers bring in a huge southern eagle ray that had been foul hooked on a jig. The goal was straightforward: get it in fast, unhook it, and release it safely. But as the ray came closer to shore, someone in the water began shouting about dogs getting too close. That is when the situation escalated.
The braid is so rough on the hands. Hey, what'd she say? She said it would drown. Yeah, this is gonna drown? Ooh, you might not want to get... Just watch out with the dogs near this ray.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, what? Yeah, watch out with the pups.
You need to cut this.
Right, no, we're gonna... Hey, watch out with that barb.
Yeah, well...
Just be... Hey, please get away from this thing, right? Like, I'm serious, please get away from it.
Cut this.
Okay.
You won't bring it in with this.
Yeah, we're gonna cut it, but please stay away from the ray. These are, these are extremely... Please stop touching the line.
Yeah,
please stop touching the line.
But I'm not going to get your hook back because it's too dangerous.
Right, okay.
So you just need to cut this down there.
Okay, I understand, but please get out of the water.
No, I won't get out of the water. Do you have a knife? Anyone got a pen knife?
No, please get away from the ray.
Do you happen to have a pen knife?
Oh my god, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Bro, she can't bring her dogs near this thing either. That is a hazard. Okay, so Southern Eagle Ray, right here. We're gonna try to get the hook out, but we have a lady that says we have to cut it off.
All right, let me take a picture.
Oh, you want a picture? Okay.
Can we just use a lighter to put in the line?
No, give it to me. I got it.
You got it?
I got it. Ma'am, please get away from the ray. This line, hey, this line is about to snap off. Please stay away from the ray.
I don't need to be told to be.
Ma'am.
That won't snap. You've got to cut.
This will snap.
The woman said she was a marine biologist, yet the way she handled the moment raised concerns about the risk involved. Dealing with a stressed wild animal in open water is nothing like working in a controlled setting, and this ray was clearly not calm.
I'm a marine biologist. You don't need to tell me about stingrays. But you shouldn't, you know, if the ranger catches you, it's $500.
This is not illegal. What? It is foul hooked on a jig, and it was a complete accident. You can't control what bites over there. Guys, I'm sorry about that. That is ridiculous. That was not your fault. You foul hooked it. It happens.
Sorry about that.
No. That's not your guys' fault at all. That is ridiculous. I'm sorry you have to deal with that fault. It's an accident. But that's a sick fish. That is so sick. And like, that's a once in a lifetime. Hopefully you got good pictures.
All right. Oh, my bad. It's not your fault at all.
Keep enjoying the fishing. Don't let them ruin your vibe. That was an awesome fish. That was sick. Well, I have a lot of experience with those actually.
Whoa.
It's not illegal at all.
Alright, let me take that back. Alright, good luck, bud.
Yeah, guys. Good luck. Have a good one. Adios.
Scott walked away frustrated. Leaving the hook in the ray was never the goal, but continuing the landing with someone acting unpredictably in the water could have made things worse. At times, the real risk is not the wildlife. It is people who failed to see the danger around them. What should have been a simple catch and release turned into a tense standoff with safety on the line, forcing him to choose caution over principle. In December 2025, YouTuber Ducky20 Fishing set out on his kayak for what was supposed to be a normal morning, chasing lingcod in Monterey Bay. The bite was slow, with just a couple of rockfish landed. Then he glanced into the water and saw something that instantly shook him.
This morning started out like any other, with me out on my kayak targeting lingcod. However, as the morning progressed, I only managed to catch a few rockfish, which were all released. That basically summarized the entire uneventful morning, until a few hours later when I decided to take a quick peek into the water and saw something that was absolutely humongous.
There's a huge great white! Oh my god!
This massive shark passed about 1 foot below my kayak, and I immediately turned the camera on and started motoring away, just assuming it would leave. I only stopped because I had a line in the water and I needed to retrieve it to prevent it from getting hooked on the rocky bottom. Here you can see its head enter from the bottom left and cross about 10 feet behind my kayak.
Well, I hope I got that on camera. That was freaking terrifying. I literally could have reached in the water and touched it. I mean, I'm all for like sharks and stuff, but like, I mean, that thing was checking me out. I mean, that thing it looked like it wanted a piece of the kayak.
I edited out some of me freaking out and just talking nonsense, but I traveled about a quarter mile away over the course of 3 minutes and assumed the shark had left during the time, and I just planned to keep on fishing before the wind picked up.
Like, what if it's still behind me? I don't really know.
The shark kept following about 30 to 35 feet behind him, with only the tip of its fin slicing through the surface and leaving a small V-shaped trail in the water.
I'm not really sure what to do. I don't want to stop fishing, but... Oh my god, it's still behind me! It's chasing me! It's chasing me! Oh my god, you can see its fin! No way!
So at this point, it had been about 5 minutes since I first sighted the shark, and it had for some reason decided to follow me the entire time. After seeing its fin right behind me, I decided that it probably was going to ram me if I did let it catch up to me, so I decided that it was definitely not worth it, and decided to head back to dry land where there was definitely no sharks.
Now, this camera is waterproof, right? I'd love to get like a sick underwater shot, but at the same time, that thing is trying to do a little inspection on my kayak here. So, I mean, I don't have any fish. There's not a single fish on board. I have some squid, but it's not like it's in the water. It's not gonna smell it. I haven't bled any fish. I haven't even, actually, I've only caught a couple rockfish. It's been super slow. That thing is on my tail. I don't see it, but oh my gosh, it's still there. Nah, look at that.
You can't really see it on video, but about maybe 30, 35 feet back, you could just see barely the tip of the fin creating like a little V-line in the water. I mean, clearly not from my kayak, so even, geez, I mean, 6.5 minutes later, it was still following me, so.
Well, it's been about 10 minutes. I have not seen it again. I don't know where it went. See back there? Yeah, I don't see it anymore. So, that was pretty crazy. I mean, that thing followed me for a solid 5 minutes or so. And I go about 4.5 miles an hour. It was just cruising behind me. But, I don't know. I mean, I looked down and there it was, and then I was like, oh, that's not a seal, that's a shark, right? That's kind of weird. I guess it's just curious. I don't know what it was doing that close to me and why it was following me. I guess my kayak's really interesting too.
The clip ends with the shark finally vanishing from view, when a great white glides just a foot beneath a kayak and then follows it for several minutes at full speed. It no longer feels like harmless curiosity. It becomes something far more intense. In August 2025, JB from the Fish Gods TV channel was pulling in a huge red snapper when his friends suddenly spotted something shifting beneath the surface of the water below.
Okay.
Hold on.
They're fighting today, man. Yeah.
JB?
Where you at, JB? Shark.
I know it is. That's a head.
Several sharks start circling below, while JB tries to haul the fish up. The crew freaks out, yelling at him to pull it out of the water as quickly as possible.
Let's get it, bud.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. JB working, JB.
JB working. He ain't working hard. He just working. He just fit him and fat him.
He coming up. Uh-oh. Yes, sir. Nah, it's big red, bro.
I'm thinking of drum, but.
Work him, JB. Whoa, JB. Work him, boy. Work him, JB. 1 minute in, dog.
This ain't the 1 minute challenge today. What that is?
I ain't see it surfing yet. I ain't see it.
It's right there.
Oh
my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Come on, I get him.
You ain't got no net. You got a net?
Oh, no.
Oh!
No!
Oh!
Bro! Oh my God! Put it back in the water. We get action, bro. Bro!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Record. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Bro!
Oh! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Put it back in the water, bro.
Yeah, bro, I still got a lot of fish on there.
Bro, JB, bro, this thing.
Oh, the whole.
Oh, look at that. Whoa.
Oh my
You
God.
should have let him got the whole thing, bro.
He did. Oh.
That was awesome.
Oh my God, got a whole thing on camera too.
JB, my boy, JB.
You did that. Hey, you did that, what?
Hey, no.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
that was worth everything.
That was worth it.
That was crazy.
But that boy had, that was like a 25 right there. That was a 25 for sure. That was a slab, dog. Oh my God, bro. Oh yeah.
He came out of nowhere, blow that.
Bro, I don't even want to really no fish now.
The crew just stands there in shock, going over what they just saw. When you are fishing in waters full of sharks, landing a catch turns into a full-on race. On June 13th, 2025, near Destin, Florida, the crew from Southern Salt, known for their Gulf Coast kayak and offshore fishing videos, headed 16 miles out into the Gulf of Mexico. With red snapper season underway, they teamed up with John and Cade from Sippy Boys, expecting a long day on the water. But once they reached the deep, quiet offshore stretch, something below the surface shifted the entire mood of the trip.
We We are in about 90 foot of water, moving up on our spots right here, and as you see, we are already loaded, not even on top of the marks yet. Lots of fish in this area. We're about to rig up, get ready to drop down. I'm probably gonna start off with a jig, and we'll see what happens from there. We do got a couple of fellas here, John and Cade with Sippy Boys. Sippy Boys. They are out of Columbus, Mississippi. And yeah, we're about to drop some lines, see if we can catch some fish. So we just got a 200 gram Shimano jig right here. We're gonna start off slow pitch jigging. John and Cade are gonna be dropping some live bait down. I imagine they are gonna hook up a little bit faster than me, but we're gonna see if we can't grab a grouper or a snapper on a jig. Ooh, come back for it. Something nailed it. He's on. Yep. Fish on, y'all. First fish of the day on the jig. Let's see what we got. Feeling kind of grouperish. Not real sure.
Okay, go ahead and reel yours up. Just keep the bait in the water. And
snapper.
Snapper. Oh yeah.
Old red snapper number one.
And that's the keeper.
All right, so Captain Ryan Reed here is a federal permitted guide charter, and so their season opened up June 1st for these red snapper right here. They got to be 16 inches. We get to keep 2 per person, and my fish here today are going to be going home with John and Cade, so we're going to donate a little bit to their box.
The morning started smoothly and dialed in. Bait was set, jigs dropped, and the boat hovered over 90 feet of clear Gulf water. It did not take long for a rod to bend. A bright red snapper came up, and the boat filled with laughs. Another line hooked up right after. With the season just opening, the ocean felt generous. Then a hit came that felt different, heavier, uneven, and not quite right.
Come here. He's coming in. Ah. He's feeling big now. I think something. I think we found the culprit, y'all.
Yep.
So I hooked this guy first. Shark. Oh man, that's a heartbreaker, y'all. Well, that was a decent snapper.
Yeah, it was.
That's the sad thing about fishing out here offshore. The sharks here lately have gotten horrible, and this happens really all too often. And the sad part is there's still a really, really good cheek right there, or a collar, but you know, we're not going to use this one to go in the box. We'll throw him back, try again.
When the line finally came up, the excitement died instantly. The red snapper was there, but only half of it, cleanly torn with fresh bite marks. No one had to say anything. Captain Ryan just gave a quiet nod. Sharks. He had seen it happening more often lately. Fish getting taken before they ever reached the boat. It's been bad, he muttered. The crew pulled their lines and decided to relocate, heading towards 75 feet of water, hoping to get away from whatever was circling below.
We had to make a move to get away from the sharks. We don't want to lose too much bait and hook. We are a little bit shallower, 75 foot right here. We're still gonna try the jig. This might be a little too heavy. If this isn't working out, then we'll just swap over some live bait. On. That ain't AJ. Might be an Almaco. What do we got? First, did he come off? He did. Dang it. Yep.
Yeah, coming off.
Could be trigger. Kind of felt triggerish.
When they see you,
I'm on bottom. Nah, I'm on bottom. I found that rock. Got him. Got him. Come on. Come here.
The bottom or up?
I was all the way on bottom. What do we got?
Oh, I got one.
I do see bigger fish.
There you go. Put it over there. There you go.
What did I tell you it was down there?
That's the trigger. Sure enough.
Well,
we're gonna get him measured out.
All right, y'all. We got us a trigger fish on the jig. He's going back. That should make it, man.
Yeah.
So Cade caught the stamp and I got the trigger fish.
Right.
Got to go 16 to keep.
16. Yep.
Always looking for stamp down here. He's gonna make it.
Yeah, he made it.
Boom!
I believe
Hey, that's the best tasting fish y'all got in the box right now. Yeah. There we go. Come on back for it. Don't play with your food. Just eat the bait. Just eat the bait. He ate it.
All right. There we go.
He ate the bait. Just had to talk him into swallowing something. Yeah. It ain't a big one. Don't nobody get out of your seats or anything, you know. Definitely a boat flipper. Ha. Oh, that right there is the one fish you do not want to see out here. Nope. The old remora. Bye-bye.
Y'all, Cade is on fish right here. We just pulled up to another spot. He is reeling one in. I believe it's probably gonna be a bonita, which is a good thing. We're gonna be using that guy for bait.
There he is, right down there. Bonita. Good job. All right, bring me the line. That's what we want, right there.
Moving to shallower water brought a bit of luck. They landed a triggerfish, a remora, and even a bonita to cut up for bait. But that uneasy feeling never really left. Later, while cruising back toward the beach, something in the water suddenly grabbed their attention.
So we were running right here by the beach. We're about to get ready to head on in, and we've already spotted like 4 or 5 sharks right here running the rock, all about 4 or 5 foot. Insane. There's another one right there. I don't know how well y'all can see. Woo! Oh, it's like a bonnet head maybe. There's another one right there, about a 4-footer. We got 2 of them right out in front of us right here. Can you run over the top of them? There's another one way out there. There's 2 of them right there. Those are a little bit bigger right there.
Yeah.
So y'all, that right there is easily 20 sharks right here within a couple hundred yards of the beach. As y'all probably have heard, last year we had several sharks. We had several shark attacks on the Florida coast, and over the last 3 years, I mean, it has just been insane with the amount of sharks that have moved in to these beaches.
In less than 3 years, shark numbers had risen fast. It was not just offshore anymore. Even near the beaches, the water felt different and uneasy. By sunset, they docked at Destin Harbor. The day began with laughter, but the ride back was quiet. Many anglers across Florida are saying the same thing. More sharks closer than before. Some blame warmer water, others population growth. One thing feels clear: the predators are moving inshore each season. Spearfisher Dean was floating about 100 meters offshore at Mist Point, alone in the water. He began chumming with salmon, hoping to draw in snapper, but something far more dangerous had already picked up the scent.
My salmon has been in my cray bag for an hour and a half at this stage. It's tangled in the fishing line I collected earlier. I'll often put rubbish and fishing line in this netted bag to remove it from the water after my dive. I also put my catch in it as it deters the sharks from taxing my fish. While I'm on the surface preparing for another dive, the SharkSmart app picks up a tagged female great white within my proximity, but I am completely unaware that she is to the right, observing my every movement. I slowly turn, I see her, I turn my camera on, and before it can even turn on, she turns and comes straight towards me.
The approach felt calculated, almost like she was assessing him. She drifted off slightly, then lingered nearby, but he had nowhere to go. A cliff wall boxed him in from behind. Turning to swim would risk triggering a chase and leaving him exposed. The only choice left was to stay put and face it.
She seems to lose interest in sizing me up and shifts her attention to the salmon instead. I briefly consider removing the salmon from the fish bag, but she's given me no room, and I know the fish is tangled and requires both of my hands to get it out. But I quickly decide that hand feeding a great white, a deadly fish, with my bare hands, while I'm unarmed, isn't a risk I'm willing to take. I swim toward her, spear extended. I'm doing my best to look like a threat, hoping it's enough to make her think twice before deciding I'm worth the risk.
The shark did not back down. She made a wide circle, then angled in again. In a bold move, Dean swam straight toward her, trying to push her away before she closed the distance.
It's at that point that she veers broadside, and for the first time I see the full scale of her size. I'm completely lost for words with how beautiful this shark is. I try to stop my hands from trembling to mask the fear as I push my spear towards her. I match her movements, constantly turning and staying face to face. I can't risk letting her slip to the side of my body where I'd have no barrier between us. She makes several passes before brushing a pectoral fin along the bag with the salmon. I can sense that she's getting impatient because she can't get to the fish.
Out of nowhere, a loud alarm cut through the air. He raised his head, hoping someone had noticed, though deep down, he knew no one could help. When he lowered himself back underwater, she was there again, heading straight at him.
I wasn't sure if she was testing me again or preparing to have a strike, but I wasn't waiting to find out and I had to act. I drove the spear into her nose, but it's like hitting a wall of muscle. The force completely flexes the spear and it almost derails from... The scariest part is that she's barely concerned, and that's when reality sets in. This spear isn't stopping her. She's edging in closer and becoming more in pain.
Seeing she would not back off, Dean slowly began easing toward shore, keeping his eyes locked on her as his mindset shifted from confronting to escaping. Then panic crept in. The cloudy water hid her completely. She was gone from sight. He turned in tight circles, scanning the murk, trying to find where she had moved.
Suddenly, I've lost her. I catch a brief glimpse. She's behind me, cutting between me and the fish. This time moving faster, more agitated. Then she's gone again, vanished. I'm spinning in circles, trying to cover every angle. But deep down I know, if she wants me, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm doing the best I can to keep my fins below the surface to stop them from splashing. I'm trying to move slowly, knowing there's no way I can outswim this shark. Every meter feels like a marathon. That 100 meters might be the longest swim of my life, with every second feeling like I'm being hunted.
As Dean made it into the white wash near the rocks, all visibility disappeared, leaving him blind in the churning water.
I'm blind. I don't know where she is or if she's behind me. The swell slams off the back of the rocks, holding me in place. I'm trapped in the surge, waiting, heart racing, as I wait for the moment of calm, just long enough to make my move and get out.
What a bloody thrill.
Dean quickly alerted the nearby fishermen about the shark. His body had been running on pure survival instinct, but once it was over, the adrenaline crashed down hard.
Wanted to let you know that there's a white in the area. He's not massive, big enough to scare you, but I just thought I'd let you know that there's one in the area. Mahon Paul. Sorry, mate, I'm a bit shaken up. One of the boys that were fishing here let me use their phone and just call the lifeguards just to raise it that there's a white swimming around here. God, they're beautiful fish, aren't they? Like, absolutely beautiful. Just the sheer size of them, how thick they are. And just when I jabbed him with the spear gun to warn him off, you just feel how tough their skin is.
Later, reflecting on it, Dean admitted he had made serious mistakes, diving alone, chumming in a high-risk spot, and keeping his catch in a net without a float or quick escape route. Whether the shark planned to strike is something he will never know, but one thought will always stay with him: what might have happened if that spear gun had not been there between them. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.